And we are here this morning, Sunset Crest, just below the All Seasons Hotel. And what do we encounter but one of our local residents hanging out, and basically I think he's here with his whole family. But we start off our little tour today with some monkeys, and here's a little fella coming down as well, doing his little frolicking. The rest of the family is down there, just below the palm tree. So as we head out today to Lonestar, and we'll get a little shot of the monkeys in Barbados, which is an appropriate thing to do here. And we'll then go and get the whole boardwalk heading up towards Spicetown and do a proper review of everything. But just thought we'd get you started with a little local flavor, and hope you enjoyed this video. We're here this morning in Sunset Crest, St. James, Barbados, basically by the beach road, and we're about to go on a small little day trip, basically all the way on the boardwalk, north past Holetown, towards Spicetown, probably about a 45-minute to an hour walk. And I'm just showing you this area here because this is sort of where you basically enter the beach on the south side of Sunset Crest. And it's right, in fact, next door to the Arc-en-Ciel and the Calamaro villas, which are right here in front. And just over to the right, there is a pathway. And this is where you enter towards to go towards the beach. And if you look up my other Beachlands video that I made yesterday, is sort of an updated one, you will see that my video starts on the other side of this entrance. But now I'm starting from here, and we'll be going and traveling northwards for quite a while. So as we do this, I will give you a quick intro from this side, and we'll give you a quick scan. We'll give you a quick scan from at the beach once we arrive, and then I will periodically on and off show you different elements of the boardwalk walk as we progress on northwards this morning for about an hour or so. So just bear with me. We are arriving here by the sea. And of course, once we get in here, we have the lovely Beachlands beach on the left side. People starting to arrive and get settled in just past 9 o'clock in the morning. We're hoping to hit low tide at the north end of our walk because essentially we will be having to cross a very narrow path there that it's a little dangerous if you try to cross over later on in the day when it's high tide, and I'll give you more details as we get there. But otherwise, for the time being, we are here, we're heading north. I will give you a quick view one more time, the south end of the boardwalk, and then we'll pick this up again a little bit farther up the trail. So stay tuned for now. As we head north in the pathway towards in our trek that will take us way past over towards in that tip there at the top and keep on going for quite a while. We are now in the smaller beach, which is where the old Regent Hotel used to be. And for those people who have been coming here for a while, there was also a Chefette's restaurant here in the corner on the right hand side. And all these properties have been bought over by a British conglomerate that are now eventually going to be redeveloping the land and setting up for some new, I guess, further villas and so on in the area. This little beach here, which is right just before we arrive at what is called the beach house, they actually rent chairs and umbrellas right here. So if you do want to come and rent umbrella or chair and have a nice little swimming hole here, this would probably be your first spot to do that. And then beyond this, we're just about to arrive over there at the beach house, which is basically a private club. It's owned by all the owners here of property in Sunset Crest. So there's the Sunset Crest Property Association, which is a non-profit organization, and one of the many things they provide and for owners and I guess guests of properties from owners is that you get access to the beach club here, the beach house. It has a restaurant in there. There's a bar. Morning. There's a swimming pool, very nice. Change rooms, showers, etc., etc. And I'll give you a quick glimpse in there in a moment. And as we approach here, you'll be able to have a good look. It's a lovely place. It has been remodeled, I guess. A little while ago, and as you can see, great little area. There's a restaurant next door, the beach house restaurant, and they have great Sunday brunch here that is very popular that people come to, and we'll have a quick peek over there as well. And this is sort of our first stop as we go on our trek. There's a number of restaurants and hotel here as we go farther north, so I will periodically on and off give you a little glimpse of all that. As you can see here, we are at the beach house. It opens daily from 11 to 11 p.m. You can make reservations, which is recommended. And otherwise, a lovely place to spend a brunch afternoon. Good morning. How are you?
Very good. You?
Not bad. Enjoy your trip. Take care. All the best to you.
Thank you.
And as we continue on our trek, you will see these boats are sort of docked in front of Holetown itself, the main area, and we also have here to our right the Drift Lounge. It's an ocean terrace lounge, very nice. Good place to come for some pre-dinner or post-dinner drinks and great cocktails, fine wines. Also opens at 5 p.m. until late evening, and very sort of groovy little spot right on the waterfront. And then immediately next door to this we have Tides, which is one of the most well-known and relatively expensive restaurant, but a fine dining and recommended, and a lot of people come here for special celebrations and so on. They have a beautiful spot overlooking the sea during the day, so again, another fine choice, although certainly on the expensive side as far as the menu goes. And you can have a quick look here just for future reference. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. And otherwise, and here in front we have the St. James Villa. This is a private villa that you can rent. Very nice place. Apparently it can come even with a butler and a chef to your liking, and again, beautiful spot tucked in the middle of a number of other restaurants, and the hotel next door, which is a Tropical Sunset, which is not a relatively inexpensive hotel for the location and what it is. It's one of the older, if not the oldest, hotel in the area. And here before that, next we have the villas by the beach, and this is private condos. Again, a lot of them available for rent, and a nice place surrounded by beach and swimming areas on both sides. Certainly another good option. They have 2 bedrooms here, maybe even a 3-bedroom available. So if you come here with a larger family, it's certainly a reasonable alternative as well. And then as we go further, we encounter Zacchio's. Zacchio's is an Italian restaurant. They have pizza as well. You can even do pizza takeout and so on. But most importantly, it's the other spot here where you can actually rent some chairs and umbrellas and lounge and spend the day here at leisure. So so all in all, good little choices for spending the day here in Barbados in the afternoon. The bar here is also very nice. There's a swimming pool here at the hotel next door, and another option for people to consider. Now we find the area which is where they bring a lot of the boats in. This is by Surfside Restaurant. The post office is in the back there. Surfside is actually a great little beachside bar here. Excellent in the evenings. They have entertainment. They have steel drum bands and so on here. And you can also come and watch your British football matches when they're on. It's my understanding the Manchester United fans all get together here to watch Man U play. Although I believe they'll welcome anybody who, whatever team you support is more than welcome here. And then here we are in the main Holetown beach. This beach here is actually, in behind here we have 1st Street and 2nd Street, which are the two main streets in Holetown. You'll see here that this is the Folkestone Marine Reserve Northern Water Sports Zone area. There are some areas here that they fixed up where you can now come and do some snorkeling. They've fixed up the beaches here nicely, and there's groins that have been established here now to protect the beach from erosion that apparently are working very well. And as a result here, you can now actually, there's apparently some very nice snorkeling little sections here where you can come and spend a little bit of time. So if snorkeling is your liking, this is another very good option outside of the Beachlands option, which is the other one that I spoke about yesterday in my other Beachlands video that I did, and that you can look up at your leisure. So as we will continue our trek, and we're going to go over to that tip and beyond, and then we'll pick things up again shortly. We are now here by Palm Beach Condos. It's another lovely little condominium here that you can also look up, and they do have a number of places to rent. And next door to it, of course, is the Mango Bay Hotel. Very popular, tremendous. A lot of people already out on the beach, as can be seen. And again, this is right in downtown, I guess, in the center of Holetown. And we have some other, yeah, this is the hotel here. More beach and hotel farther down. And I forget what the name of that hotel is there next, but we'll take a peek shortly. Here's a catamaran trip taking off on their travel for the day. Highly recommended activity. And this here is actually Discovery Bay Hotel, Barbados, another resort hotel, quite nice. Again, with a new and upgraded beach area here. And then we have a few, and we'll start going into a combination of villas and hotels all along the way until our final destination, which will be by the Lonestar restaurant, which is halfway between Holetown and Spicetown. So we'll pick things up shortly once again. So as we continue our trek, you can see we are now at the next hotel down the coast, heading northwards, which is the Sandpiper. Another lovely, lovely place. Beautiful gardens in the back there. Certainly, you know, on the high scale of accommodation options here, but a lovely, lovely place. They have you know, all the facilities. I think this is could be one of the all-inclusive hotels in the area. But and just beyond Sandpiper, there is actually this little secluded cove here, which is great for swimming. You can see it's buoyed off, and if you do come and do some snorkeling or swimming, You do have to be wary of sometimes the ski jets and some of the glass bottom boats, especially if you're snorkeling. It's good to maybe wear a little warning device, one of those floating orange umbrellas or what have you. But again, quick little scan of where we are, where we have come from, and we will continue on our trek northwards to see what lies ahead. And here we have another villa rental right by the beach. Lovely, lovely spot. Big garden. Not sure what the name of this place is, but a very private, quite exclusive. And you can see here it even has its own hobby cat in front. And as we pan our way back, lovely little beach area here in front, and on the far side there, we're arriving now at a small section that's, I forget what the name of this area is. It's Folkestone Marine National Park, and they have a historical museum on the far end there, at the entrance of that green door. And it's a very popular place for families here in the Holetown area to come and picnic and so on. There's some public tennis courts on the far side there as well, that you can just come to and play tennis. And as you'll be able to see, most importantly here, a lot of people come here to snorkel in this area because there's some really, really nice reefs with some great fish life all around here. And so it's another stop recommended for snorkeling. And they do have vendors that sell some food and so on. There are also facilities here. You can even see that they have a lifeguard station, and even tell you about the flags, and they will tell you if it's dangerous swimming or what have you. But overall, you know, nice little spot to come and spend the day. As you can see, they also have the signs there about being tsunami smart, which is really more preventive than anything, because there hasn't been a tsunami here yet, and hopefully won't be for some time. And here you have all your potential warnings if you feel a strong or long earthquake, or see a sudden rise or fall of sea level, or hear a strange loud noise from the sea, run to high ground immediately. It hasn't happened yet, although they do get some earthquakes and tremors from time to time here. So that does happen, but the rest is sort of more preventive than anything else, and just for people to be aware. And you'll see next door to it that we have the Folkestone Marine. It tells you it's a reserve scientific zone. I know that right immediately next door here is McGill. McGill has a research institute right here, and for those who don't know, McGill is a university in Canada based in Montreal, but they have a research area right here as well that works in conjunction with the Barbados government. So they do some very interesting marine work here. So something else for those that might be interested in that sort of thing. We are here now in the next big resort area, which is the next big hotel. I will give you the name here in a second. But essentially, as you can see, all of these locations have beautiful gardens and lovely rooms, and you know, 5-star treatment all the way. And we will discover in a few minutes. You can see the outdoor cafe here, restaurant, just a beautiful, beautiful place. If anybody is lucky enough to come here, obviously highly recommended, and they treat you like kings here. Great Barbadians, Bajans are excellent hosts and very gracious, and really treat. They value all the visitors and guests. So overall, and as you can see, all of these locations are also very, very big. So the grounds go for, you know, a number of acres, and quite spectacular, really. I'll hopefully get a glimpse a little farther on of the inside here. And here's the beach that they have, and this one is part of the Elegant hotel chain. And you can see right here what it has to offer. So, and once again, just to give you a little glimpse of the grounds and of the inside of the beach area here, just spectacular. And quite something to behold. Beautiful location. High Tide Water Sports is located here right next door to the hotel, and if you like scuba, if you like sailing, they will arrange just about everything that you might want to do, and you can just give them a call and make your appointment, and they will take care of you from then on. Recommended as well. And we are here again at the next hotel down the line, and as can be seen, it's just one resort after the other of spectacular places and locations, and you really can't go wrong. Of course, the glass bottom boats are out there. You can do kayaking, you can do stand-up paddle, you can go fishing, you can go surfing, although you have to do that in the south coast, but just about it. And of course, sailing and with the catamarans and so on. So whatever you like to do, this is the place to do it. And we are now approaching this beautiful property that has always sort of intrigued us. There's that great sign up there that I don't quite know what it is. So and there's almost like a big mausoleum with that huge chandelier hanging at the front there, which is quite spectacular. And a beautiful spot. Clearly has a few years under its belt, but private property, of course. And I've never quite figured out what the story is behind this place, but it no doubt does have one. And it's one of those mysteries that I hopefully will solve in years to come. And as I take the opportunity to look back in the path that we've just traveled, on our little trek, we came from the end there on the bottom, where a lot of those boats are towards the end here. So we've been probably now trekking for about half an hour or so, and probably another 15 minutes to 20 minutes until we reach our destination at the end here. This is the trickiest part of the stretch that we will be taking. Another private property here on the top with beautiful manicured lawns and gardens and so on. And as can be seen, there is a little bit of a tricky stretch here that does get a little wet, and we'll have to look at how we can cross it without there being a lot of danger, so we'll see. As I mentioned before, this is a little tricky spot. We just came from there, and this is a little tricky spot that is wet and rather slippery. So you do have to come here on basically low tide, because on high tide this gets really splashed out, extremely slippery. As you saw, there's still some water hitting here, so you have to be careful. And but otherwise, bring some nice slippers that will hug the rock, and you should be fine. The waves do hit here, and if you happen to come here later in high tide, you get completely splashed, which is not recommended. But otherwise, we came here this morning early, and consequently we have been able to get through here without any consequence. And as can be seen, just to give you a little quick look back, you can look up on Google when low tide is and high tide in Barbados, and just basically Google low tide Barbados, and it'll give you the times when it's the best to make this trek. We usually find coming in the morning is the most appropriate time to get by. Morning. And now we're going to get into our home stretch, which will be a long stretch of beaches with some lovely 5-star hotels, leading to our final destination, which will be the Lonestar and Juju's Beach Bar Restaurant. The Beach Bar Restaurant, highly recommended, and we will be having lunch there, no doubt. They have some great flying fish and other local delicacies, and it's really sort of your classic beach bar restaurant. and I'll give you a little bit of footage of that later on as we get there. And we are here in another small little beach just past that stretch that is sort of dangerous. My wife just informed me that she actually slipped and fell just ahead of me as we were getting through. So even under those conditions, it's still a little dangerous to go by, and certainly you have to be a little careful. But as can be seen, there's some nice little beach, small little beaches where you can come and sort of private and tuck in and essentially make it your own beach. There'll be a little tricky spot up there up front that we'll have to navigate once again. But other than that, we should be fine, and we're almost at our final destination. So we will go to the tip there, and we'll have another look again. It's out just past that little slippery edge there where my wife fell, and it's a little dangerous to cross. There's even at this time a tougher little stretch here full of rocks around that you have to navigate as well. Another reason why, if you're going to come this way, you really should come as close to low tide as possible. You really have to be careful there. You could easily twist your ankle and so on. And clearly you have to walk into the water to get around that area. So again, try to make it this far as close to low tide as possible, and you should be fine. We usually take the bus back into Holetown when we make this trek in the morning, so at least you don't have to navigate this on the way back either. But overall, certainly a worthwhile adventure to take, and something to keep as a potential activity for your visit to Sunset Crest and Holetown and the west coast of Barbados. We are now approaching our next major obstacle, which is just a bit of a climb into the steps here, and once we do that, we will then have a clear view of the beach and the whole Alleyne Bay area, which will be our final destination. And here we are at the top of a little observation deck, and as can be seen, there's a little rocky stretch that we had to navigate that is rather even more dangerous than the other stretch where we walked by. But overall, we've got a fabulous day. As we make our way around and have a look, we now come down in what is known as the Alleyne Bay, and this has some of the best and most exclusive hotels in the west coast here in Barbados. We are actually even right next door to a beautiful little private property, which you can see over here, and great little villa resort. They have dogs rest, but a fantastic spot, beautiful location, well worth the visit, and if you can make friends with the owners, even better. And then otherwise we will complete our last little stretch, a little tricky stretch here, and we'll have the whole big beach for ourselves. And here we are in lovely Alleyne Bay. The far end over there is where there are some great hotels here in this whole stretch. Beautiful gardens, really. I think the Royal York has one of the branches, one of their sister hotels in here as well. I believe it might be the white buildings down the end over there. And as you can see, this is another lovely spot. This is where the catamarans come usually to go swimming with the turtles, and they usually arrive here around 11 o'clock in the morning. It's probably maybe around 10:30 or so right now. I can't see the time, but probably in another half hour to an hour they will be there, and with any luck I'll get a chance to go out and do some swimming with the turtles myself. So as can be seen, we are now over in the first large hotel beach resort here, and this one is called Glitter Bay. Beautiful gardens, a great location, lovely spot. The Fairmont Hotels is the one that I was referring to as being part of the Royal York Hotel chain in Toronto, Canada. But this is Glitter Bay just before it. Beautiful gardens here, great swimming pool in the middle. We've had the opportunity to cross over inside there once as we were making our way to the street, but generally speaking they don't allow you to do that. It is private property. But otherwise it's a fabulous hotel. They've got the lifeguard location over there, and we'll move over next to the next facility just down beyond. And as we continue past Glitter Bay, we now have the Fairmont Royal Pavilion. You can see from the flags in the boats and so on, this is the area where you can get all your sailing and ski-doing and what have you. This is their beach club right here. Nice little place. All are welcome, as can be seen here. And basically the Fairmont Pavilion runs from here all the way down there. So it's quite the location. They have some wharfs here as well. We're heading down towards where those blue umbrellas are at the end, which is where the Lonestar and Jujube's beach restaurant is located, and we'll be getting there shortly, and I'll give you a little inkling of what that looks like over there as well. And as you can see, this is probably the reason why it's called the Fairmont Royal Pavilion. There is a huge pavilion area here on either side of the hotel. And I believe this facility next to us is the next hotel, which I will find out the name shortly. And as we near the end of our trek, and the sightseeing, one last look at the hotel here, hugging the coast. Morning.
Morning.
So, as we are now here at our final destination, we have Juju's, the beach bar right here, which has great food for lunch, and we'll be coming back here a bit later and enjoy there. I think we might be able to see it over there. It is Juju's Beach Bar. Highly recommended. There is the Starfish, which is a store that sells beachwear in this location. You can see down the end there, that's where we came from. But most important, the reason why a lot of people come here, besides it being an absolutely gorgeous beach, is the fact that this is where the catamarans make their stop for going to swim with the turtles. And as you can see, Tiami Cruises is here, and they're about ready to go and snorkel and catch the turtles. It's a good time to come around 11 in the morning because they usually bring food, and the turtles know to come here to get fed in the morning. So I will be shortly going out there, but I did want to give you a quick look of how this goes. You can actually swim from the beach there at the end, right up to where the boats are, and catch the turtles yourself without having to take the cruise, and that's what we're going to be doing today. That's what I'm going to be doing today. There's Lonestar restaurant right immediately next door. Quite a famous restaurant, very good. They have some accommodations here as well, but the most important interesting feature about it is that the owner of the restaurant is actually the owner of Wigan Football Club, which is an English football club. I believe now they are in the championship division, which is essentially not the premier, but the next division under. And on account of him being the owner of this location, a lot of professional football players from the UK come here and stay here when they visit and vacation in Barbados. So if you come down here, you might get lucky and meet some of your favorite stars from your favorite teams, depending on the circumstances. So I will now go get myself ready for some snorkeling, and we'll pick up later as I give you a report on how everything went today. And just returned from my snorkel out there. And basically, Tiami Cruises boat is out there right now, and it's going to be seen right behind them. There's a whole gang of people snorkeling. Just came from pretty well that same spot, and we caught a small turtle, very cute, swimming all around us for quite a little while, maybe 10 minutes or so. And it's some of the tricks of the trade over here. It's very good to know if you come and you're looking for the turtles is always look for the guys from the boats, the guides or whoever that are on the water with with the guests. They usually have food with them, and the turtles get to know pretty well the guys that have the food, and they always go for them. So if you stick and swim close to where the boat guys are, invariably the turtles will come there and will come to you. I just met a few guys who were out near the same area, but because they didn't do that, they never even saw the turtle, and they were out there for a good 20 minutes. So one of the tricks that I've used over the years, never has failed, and something to keep in mind. And otherwise, as I say goodbye, one last beautiful view here of the Alleyne's Bay Beach, and hope to see you here in the near future. So safe trip, and all the best of 2018 to everybody, and one last loop around of the bay as a farewell for you all. Ending up here at Juju's.